Welcome to my channel. Today we will be crocheting the Alora bag right here. But instead we are going to be using loops and threads from Michael's facets yarn. This is the color Fawn. This bag right here is the color Toffee. There's a ton of different color combinations. There's also solid colors. There's just so many choices. I'm also using a 5mm hook. Just to warn you guys, I've never used a different type of yarn apart from the loops and threads for this bag. So if you use a different type of yarn, it'll probably be totally okay, but it might be a bit stiffer or less flexible than this one right here because this yarn is a bit looser than most yarns I've used. Just a quick warning. Let's get into the video. So to make this bag, you are going to need a hook. Okay, I'm using 5mm. It depends on whatever yarn you use, but if you use a bigger yarn, you'll get a bigger bag. If you use a smaller yarn, as in the size, like 5mm, you know, you'll get a smaller bag. You're also going to need a darning needle for the strap to sew it on. You're going to need a pair of scissors and your yarn. I used this yarn. There's 279 yards in it, and I still had some left over after making the bag, but not a lot. So if you use a different type of yarn, try to get something around that many yards. And let's get to the video. So to start, you are going to make a slip knot. Then tighten it. Then you're going to chain 40. So wrap around your hook and pull through. You're going to do that 40 times. And then you have your 40. And now you're going to do 4 rows of just double crochet. So wrap around your hook and go into the 3rd stitch from your hook. Insert, wrap around, pull through, wrap around again, pull through 2, wrap around again, pull through the last 2. So I'll say it again. Yarn over, go through the top loop of your chain, wrap around, pull through, wrap around again, pull through 2, wrap around again, and pull through 2. So you're going to do that all along your chain for 4 rows. So I'll be back after the 4 rows. So now that the 4 rows are done, by the way, I love this color combination, you are going to take your hook and your yarn. You are going to chain 2, and then you're going to skip 2 stitches, and then do 2 double crochets in the 3rd stitch from your hook. When you're done the double crochets, you're going to skip another 2 stitches and do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So you're technically just going to repeat that pattern of skip 2 stitches and then 2 double crochets in 1 stitch all along the rectangle. You're even going to go on the sides and behind it so that when you get back here, I'll tell you what to do when you get back here, but technically you're just going to do that and you're going to repeat it all around what you already have. I forgot to tell you guys, so when you get on the sides, and really this side too, you just have to estimate, do an estimate of what you think is 2 stitches. Like, as long as you're doing 2 double crochets in the same spot, it shouldn't matter that much. It will be the same outcome either way. So just kind of do an estimate of where your stitches are. As you can see, these aren't actual stitches, but as long as there's 2 double crochets in it, you'll be fine. Same for here, but here it's a bit easier to tell since you can see your first row of double crochets and where every 2nd stitch is. So just kind of do every 2nd stitch here along this side, but on the shorter sides, just kind of estimate until you get to the other side. So I am back at the beginning of where I started this row, and you can kind of see that it's starting to curve on the sides, and that's natural, that's good. It's what's supposed to happen, but if it isn't happening for you yet, don't worry. But you can see here, this is where I chained 2 at the beginning of the row. You're just going to go in the top chain of your first double crochet, and you're going to slip stitch. Okay, and this row and the rows after this you just have to repeat the same thing, but it's kind of confusing in the beginning. So you're going to chain 2, and then instead of going into these top stitches, you're going to be going in between the V's. So in between both double stitches, you're going to do another 2 double stitches. I know it sounds a bit confusing, but as you can see, so now there's 2 double stitches in between the previous row's 2 double stitches. And so you're not gonna do any more stitches. You're not gonna go here or there. You're gonna go in between the next 2 double stitches and do another 2 double stitches. And so you're just gonna continue doing that all along. You're going to do 2 double stitches in between the previous rows, 2 double stitches. And that is going to be how you're going to do it for the next 16 rows, or longer or shorter depending on how long your bag is. But in a few rows your bag is going to start like curving inside, and you're going to actually start like doing it on the outside, because this is the inside, the bottom, this is the outside. So it's going to start going like this. And you're just going to keep going around and around and around until you want it that length, or until you reached 16 rows. So I'll see you guys after 16 rows and I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, now that you have 16 rows, we are going to be doing 2 rows of single crochet, and you're just going to be doing single crochets in every stitch you can see at the top, so you don't need to go in any specific space as long as it's just the stitches at the top. So you're going to chain 1, and you're going to just do single crochets all around for 2 rows. So now that you have your 2 rows of single crochets, you are going to turn your work so that the inside of the bag is facing you, and we are going to start doing the strap. So first, we're going to be doing a decreased double crochet. So you can search up on YouTube if you do it differently, or you can do it whatever way you like to do it, but I do it where you yarn over, you go into the next stitch, you pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, then you go into the next stitch, you yarn over, pull through, then you yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. And then we're going to be doing 6 double crochets. And then for the last stitch of our strap, we're going to be doing another double crochet decrease. So yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over again, pull through 2, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So now you have this little row right here. You're going to turn your work again, and you're just going to do a normal row of double crochets. So chain 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, second stitch from your hook, and you're just going to do double crochets all along this little row. For the next 40 rows, you're just going to be turning your work, chaining 2, and then doing a row of double crochets, and you're just going to keep doing that for 40 rows, and I'll be back once we're done the 40 rows. So now that you've finished your 40 rows for the straps, you're going to fold your bag, you're going to lay it flat, and you're going to see where you want your strap. I'm going to fold it since it's kind of folded on this side too, and I'm going to put it about here. So you're going to take your strap in your bag, you're going to align it, and you're going to, you don't cut off the yarn from the hook or anything, just keep it like that. You're going to go through the first loop of your row that you just finished, and you're going to go in whatever loop you want the strap to be in, like wherever you want your strap to be, and you're just going to slip stitch. And you're going to do that all along the side of the strap. So you're going to go through the strap loop and then the bag loop, and you're just going to slip stitch, and you're just going to keep doing that all along. At the end, even if it's slip stitch like in the loop, I'll take the side of the loop and kind of slip stitch it again just to make sure it's secure. So now that you have it slip stitched, it's going to look like this. It's going to be attached. You're going to cut your yarn, but make sure that there's enough to sew. You're going to need your scissors and your darning needle. So you're going to cut your yarn. I left a pretty long tail. You're going to pull your hook out so that it's just like this. You're going to take your needle. You're going to try to get it on the yarn in the needle. So usually when I sew, I go from the inside so that it's not as visible, but you can sew however you feel comfortable. It's your bag. So I'm sewing from the inside, and I'm going to make sure I don't go too far so that it doesn't show like a crease on the other side. So I'll just go through both rows that I made, and I'll kind of just sew like this, if you can see, all along it, so that it's a bit more secure than just with the slip stitch. You're just going to do that. And then when you're done with that, you can tie off however you learned to do it. And if you didn't, I'm sure you can search it up. I just do it where I go through again through like any loop, and then I put the back of my needle into the loop I just made. So it kind of makes a knot, and then I go through that loop that I just made again, and I do technically the same thing. So it's kind of like a double knot. Then you pull it off, cut it, then you're done. So you should be done your bag. I finished mine. I'm obsessed with the colors. It's so pretty. There's like purple, peach, gray, all those colors. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.